Hey guys, do you miss me? I'm super excited to be here. I am drinking Peaches for Me IPA. This is one of the beers that Aaron brought me from the West Coast. And I thought I'd be bougie and drink it out of a glass. This is Red Hook. Doesn't that kind of look like him? It's probably the beard. Anyway, cheers. It's so good. Dan's been trying to drink them. I have a couple amber ales in there too. Like he keeps bringing them out. Like, can I drink this? And I'm like, no, I'm saving them. I'm saving them. Does anyone else do that? I need to just drink the beer, which is what I'm doing now. So grab your drink. Let's get rolling. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's been a minute. Has it been a minute? I feel like it's been a minute since I've been here. This is episode 67. I am in a different spot in the stuff room because it's that time of year where you're messing with the sun. And there's like a light beam across my face and I just didn't feel like messing with it. Plus it's really hot over there by the window. One of you guys, thank you and high five to whoever said it. There's like this window film you can get where you can see out, but it doesn't let the heat in. And we're going to get that. We just haven't gotten that far. Now you know way more about that than you ever cared to know. I wanted to give a shout out to Franca over in Germany. I said I'd tell her hi, so hi. As well as the rest of you. Hello, welcome to the crazy. So I'm going to talk about a couple things before we get into the yarny crafty goodness. Usually this is Chevyrell stuff. My name is Chevis. If you haven't been here before, welcome. We are in the stuff room, and in case you missed it, there's this thing that happened. Do you guys remember when I said that I had a visitor in the stuff room? It was like back in June, and I posted this picture, and I was like, y'all gonna have to wait and see. Well, it was Kristy Glass. Kristy Glass was in the stuff room. I think a lot of you have probably seen the interview. If you haven't, Kristy Glass was in the stuff room. She interviewed me. For those of you who don't know who Kristy Glass is, she's sort of like the Diane Sawyer of the fiber world. And she was here physically in the stuff room and did a little tour. Can I say that anymore?
Kristy Glass was in the stuff room.
I'm just being a dork. She was so easy to talk to, had a great time. Thank you, Kristy, for coming and hanging out in my little corner of the YouTubes. Doesn't Dan know I'm podcasting? Babe, I'm podcasting. I know it wasn't on the calendar. Gotta burr up my ass and boom, here we are. I'm actually just getting ready to talk about you. Okay, let me go. Love you, bye. So anyway, if you were interested in that interview and you want to see the stuff room from a different perspective than what you're used to, it'll be linked below. She also went to Simply Socks. She went to Simply Socks Yarn Company. You guys know that I talk about it all the time. She toured the store. I also think you should check that out because I'm an enabler. I said that I was getting ready to talk about Dan because I know that a lot of you follow me on Instagram, which you probably, if you follow me on Instagram, you knew about Kristy Glass as well as Dan's triathlon. But I also talk about Dan's triathlons here. He is actually getting ready to go on a bike ride. There's a Tuesday night group that rides. We're in Indiana and they ride to like Ohio and back, which like it's a long ride, couple hours. But he did his half triathlon at the Michigan Titanium. If you're in the know, it's called a 70.3, and that's because it totals 70.3 miles. So he did 2 miles of swimming, 55 miles of bike, and 13 miles of running-ish. I mean, close enough. 70.3 it comes out to. He finished like 11, let me see. His goal was just under 6 hours. And he finished it at 6 hours, 11 minutes. I think that all of the triathletes are basically superhumans. Those are some of the things that have happened since we last met here in this little oasis of a room. Now, I feel so guilty because on episode 65.2, episode 65, I put up a video and my volume. One's the drug and one's the sound. Volume. You couldn't hear me. Something was wrong with it. So I had to re-upload it, and I made the first one private. If you made your way far enough into that episode, because I know y'all, I get the average. People can stand me. The majority of people can stand me for about 15 minutes. Maybe 20 minutes. I don't know. But for those of you who stuck around long enough for me to talk about the thread, the stitch thread that Mrs. Frost had, and then I was doing a giveaway, right? And I said to put your favorite dessert in the comments. Well, because I paused the one video, I made the first video private because I had to re-upload the video to make the volume louder, which this is like way longer of an explanation than I anticipated giving. Anyway, I was supposed to draw winners for this giveaway, and I was going to give away 4 of the stitch threads. Well, because I made that first video private, I thought it was going to be easy to like transfer the comments from one to another. No, it wasn't. It took me some time. So what I had to do is I went through all the comments on the first video with the bad sound and Ditto, get off my pillow. I had to go through all the comments on the first one with the bad sound and then post them as comments on the new video, if that makes any sense. You're interrupting me. Keep on keeping on. Because I've made y'all wait, I bought more. So instead of 4, I'm going to give 10. 10. That's right. So I'm going to draw for those right now. If you didn't enter, go clickety click click ahead of these. There were so many entries, you guys. I think there's like 800 comments or something. So for those of you who are my OGs here, I love to draw old school. I typically always draw out of a hat or it's similar to that. I usually have one of my family members do it. Because there are so many entries, I'm going to use the YouTube generator thing. Okay, it's called the YouTube Random Comment Picker. So I need to plug in the URL of the episode. Okay, so I'm going to give 10 of these away and I'm going to go kind of fast. If you entered, you should know what you're getting. You're getting 2 of the stitch threads. Send me your real name, not your YouTube name, and your address. And you can either email me at contact@chevyrellstuff.com, get a hold of me on Ravelry, or get a hold of me on Instagram. Any of those things will work. So we're just going to blast through 10 right now. Okay, I'm going to hit start. The first one is Stephanie Munger, Brownie Sunday. So indulgent. Get a hold of me. That's 1. I'm going to forget count. I know I am. So I'm going to hold up my fingers. Eileen Jones, learn something new every day. Tiramisu for dessert whenever possible. I agree with you. That's 2. Jellyfish 1969, grasshopper pie. Yum. Annie O'Sullivan, fun episode. My favorite dessert is strawberry rhubarb pie. That was 4. Michelle Minnick, Jello cake. That was 5. And I'm glad to see that because that comment was from the old video. I can tell because I'm the one who wrote the comment. So I'm glad to know that's working. Julie Bell, you always make me smile. FYI, my favorite dessert is chocolate cake. So far, I love all of these things. I'm a big dessert person, which is why I asked about that. Yarn and Fiber Crafts. It was her first time watching the podcast. I am her people. So her favorite dessert is sangrias. I mean, I did say my rule is that no fruit for dessert, but I suppose if it's boozy fruit, like maybe. But she said if it doesn't count, then cheesecake. She's never met a cheesecake she didn't like. From Australia. Awesome. Okay, that's 7. Book Obsessive, another cheesecake. That's 8. Danielle Steen, mango popsicle on a hot day, baked apples with ice cream on a cold day. That's brilliant. I didn't think about hot day, cold day. And the last one, Kathleen Dyer. When I was growing up, every year for my birthday, my mom would buy me a pink champagne cake. 5 layers of cake with lemon filling and pink white chocolate shavings all over the cake. That sounds amazing. That sounds so good, seriously. So congratulations to all the winners. Get a hold of me, get a hold of me, get a hold of me, and I will mail out your prizes. Thank you for being so patient. I'm sorry that took me forever. I'm a shitty podcaster for making you wait that long. I apologize. But, you know, it's the shit show here, so you kind of shouldn't be surprised. But hopefully I made up for it for drawing 10, right? You never know what's going to happen here in the stuff room. Okay, now, this far in, we're on to FOs. This is actually getting into the makes, the meat of the podcast, if you will. First FO is my cute little crocheted necklace. This is not a chain. It's that beaded ball bead. I forget what they call it. It's what, when I was doing my soft soldering, this is the chain that I sent out with the necklaces. This is called the Vibrant Bohemian Necklace. I forget who it's by. I'll put it here. It's a free pattern. Here is hers. She used embroidery floss. And you'll see why I use this later. I'll explain it later. But this is by Fibra Natura, Naturalin Cotton Linen Blend. And I got this at Tuesday morning for some stupid price. My friend Diana was like, you need to go here. They have all this like cotton linen. And I bought enough to make a shirt, but I couldn't find a shirt that I liked. I got this color and pink, and I made a tank top in the pink. I think I showed it on the podcast, and I gave it away. Like, I didn't like it. It just, I don't know. It didn't soften up. I didn't like the way I just didn't wear it. And I was like, now I have all this. What am I going to do with it? I'll show you more on that later. But I made this to go with it. Now, I would like, instead of this going through here, I want chain so that it hangs like hers does. But this is what I had, and you know my thing. Like, I just went through the craft room and I used what I had because, you know, so fast. I mean, I made it in less than an hour. And I made it, ripped it out, and made it again. And that's because with the embroidery floss, it starts out with 16 single crochets in a magic ring. For all you crocheters, that makes sense. And it was too big. When I did it with this, it basically filled the circle. This yarn is a 4. It's 53% cotton, 47% linen. It's a 4 medium, and it says on the label to use it with a size I hook. So that's what I used, and I did 12. So I made it with 16 chains, which is what the pattern called for at first, to do with the embroidery floss. And obviously that was too much, so I bumped it down to 12, and it's perfect, at least for me. It would probably be good at 10 as well, maybe even 8. I don't know what your gauge is. That's my first FO. And again, you've all been here before. This will all be linked. My next FO, for those of you who are on Instagram, this is Dan's hat. Dan wore this on his head for like an hour. I finished a basket. This is the basket that I started on my Coil basket tutorial. Thank you guys so much for digging that video. So many of you have commented on it. You guys are tagging me and hashtagging your makes of the baskets. They are so much fun to check out. This one is, the bottom of it is hand spun. And then I used, which for those of you who watched the tutorial saw, this is fabric, linen fabric from my Hinterland and my Metamorphic dress. And then I ran out at the end So I just used some yarn, and I thought it would be cute to have a little handle on it. And Dan keeps his, I don't even know where he probably got that when we went to Mexico. This is all foreign currency. He asked if he could have it. I was like, sure, totally. And it sits on his side of the dresser and he keeps changing it. I will have the tutorial linked below in case you missed that on the last episode. Okay, my next FO's not fiber. So we do a little bit of everything here. I would say I'm mainly a knitter, and so far I have had crochet, coil basket making, and now I'm gonna bust out the tie-dye. For those of you who are on Instagram, and if you're not on Instagram, you are probably so sick of hearing me say that, but a lot of stuff happens on Instagram outside of the podcasts, and that, like podcasts, not just me, but with other podcasters. So you kind of get to see things in real time. I mean, obviously I'm still showing them to you, but some of you are like, yeah, I already saw that. If you want better pictures of these, they are in a post on Instagram. I finished tie-dyeing my onesies. These onesies were my nephew's that had spit up stain around the necks, and that was the only thing wrong with them. So I showed some on my last podcast. I think, was it the last podcast or the podcast before? One of those. So these are my new ones. I just recently, this weekend, posted something else I was doing. And I was getting messages that I'd fallen off the deep end when it came to I love this one. When it came to tie-dyeing. And I did, but the reason that I fell off the cliff with the tie-dye, these were practice for the bigger one that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Now, even the Instagram viewers have not seen, isn't that cool? It's a mandala. Have not seen the finished product. All they saw on the big one, I love this one so much. Now, some of these are liquid tie-dye and some of these are ice dyed. So like this was liquid, this is ice. They're different looks. This was liquid. The ditto. I love this one so much. This is ice. Look how flippin' cool that is. I love it so much. Ditto. Look how cute. Okay, so the big one, I took pictures and video, and I am going to insert that here for the big reveal. Hey guys, I have a new baby. I mean, look at it. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to unveil this on camera, but it could be a hot mess. I don't know. So it's gonna take me a little bit to get this off, like all the rubber bands and stuff. Stand by while I do this. I have no idea if this is gonna be cool or not. I hope it is. Cross your fingers for us. I don't know. This doesn't look like it worked. Not the way I had it in my head anyway. Okay, are you ready? The moment of truth. Oh my God, it worked! What? It's a sheepies! Oh my God, I love it! Look, here's the sun. I'm gonna finish rinsing it out, wash and dry it, and then I'll post a picture. What do you guys think? Is that awesome or what? Okay, now I have to show you washed and dried. I mean, you guys, look at the sun. What do you think? Is it epic or what? Here. I love it so much. I love it so much. Okay, now, here is the thing. The reason that I did all of these is because this is what was in my brain. Now, it didn't come out exactly. I wish that I would have put more clouds in. See these little geodes in here? I wish I would have done a few more of those. And I put some bronze. You know, this was supposed to be grass with flowers. And I think I was a little heavy-handed with the bronze because I thought, you know, like little pieces of dead grass. Like I was thinking this would be grass with just like a little bit. I was a little heavy-handed, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, I cannot believe how awesome this is. Hold on just a second. So you OGs remember that my Aunt Karen went to Nova Scotia and brought me back a little rug hook. And I did this guy. This is where my idea came from for the tapestry. I mean, how flipping cute. Okay, so, which I've talked about finishing this, and there were umpteen different ways to finish it. And as you can see, I still haven't. It just sort of hangs out in the stuff room. I love it, even though it isn't anything yet. It will be someday. Here's my thought process. The whole reason that I dyed the tapestry is because, as most of you know who have been here, we are going to the wool gathering in Yellow Springs. Hopefully it all works out okay. I mean, the whole like Rona thing happening is sort of irritating and who knows, but right now everything is fine to go. We're camping. I'm going to hang it on the camper, and that will be like our photo background because I get to meet John and Aquila, and also Jake and Ray are coming. And then if any of the rest of you are camping at the campground who go to the wool gathering, we can get pictures. I was laying in bed thinking, as one does when they have insomnia and their mind's racing, I had this brilliant idea. At least I think it's a brilliant idea. I had this brilliant idea. Originally, I had the idea of putting like appliquing the wool gathering like above the sheep in the sky. But now, instead, I think I am going to embroider the wool gathering small and the date. And then I will embroider every single fiber festival and the year that goes to it. So if I do the wool gathering 2021, if we go in 2022, I'll just embroider 2022 under it. What do you think? Isn't that so fun? And I'll take it to Rhinebeck with me. I'll bring a backpack. I'll take it to Rhinebeck. Because, you know, Rhinebeck 2022, right here. That was a huge FO. Huge FO. I'm so flippin' excited about it. And I'm not going to post it on Instagram until this video goes up. So you guys are going to be the first to see the finished product on it. Now, I have stuff to do more tie-dye. I bought some t-shirts for Coil for next year. So I'll be tie-dyeing some more because obviously I have the stuff to do the tie-dye, right? I might as well do the tie-dye. But it'll be a break now. Because it is sort of a pain in the ass since we don't have a mop sink. Thankfully, we have a stainless steel sink in like, our shitty kitchen that we have now. But we're getting our new kitchen and there's going to be a mop sink in the garage. And that's going to turn into my tie-dye studio. It'll be easier because now I have to wait for Dan to like dump the dye water. It's a big pain in the butt. Because I can't be trusted to dump dye water. I would ruin everything. Next FO is my spinning. You're not going to see this in a hank. You're going to see it in a cake. And that's because I'm knitting with it. This was my spinning that I showed on the last episode. This is Woolfiend in the Before Dawn colorway. It spun like butter. This is, and for you spinners who understand this, if you've ever spun a loop bat, very similar this was to spin. I did short forward draw and it was so nice to spin. It's super soft. It's great. I got 314 yards. I thought it was a light fingering, but now I'm thinking more it's just a regular fingering. Maybe even a little heavier than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh God. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Most useful tattoo ever, you guys. I promise you. Get an inch. So 15, whatever that is, I don't know off the top of my head. I probably should, but that's what this is. I got 314 yards. I was going for 400 yards. Obviously didn't make it. I don't know how you people do that. 400 yards with 4 ounces. Even when I'm trying to spin thin, and I think it's pretty well balanced. My bobbins came out perfect. I don't think I've ever done that. Like I had this much left on the last bobbin because you ply the 2 singles together for those of you who aren't spinners. And a lot of times if you don't spin even, you'll have like a whole bunch left over on one of the bobbins. And I didn't. This was an even spin. I was really impressed with it. It wasn't overspun. It hung real nice. I'm super happy with it. We'll totally buy more fiber from Woolfiend. Loved it. So that's my last FO. And I'm just going to go right into what I'm knitting with it, which is a current whip. And that is my Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. Is that right? I see her face in my head, but I know I'm messing it up. It's Ysolda Teague, I think. This is thanks to the We Share Needles podcast, Christen and Maddie, because while I was spinning this, I thought I was going to do a sock head. And then they were talking about how awesome this Musselburgh hat is. I'll post a picture. How awesome this Musselburgh hat is. It's a $7.16 pattern and there's no ribbing. So y'all know that like the sock head, there's a bunch of ribbing. There isn't any ribbing and it's a top down. I have my little Arkansas yarn progress keeper on here since, Maddie and Christen did this. This pattern is bomb, you guys. It's awesome. You do this and you get about an inch out and then you check your gauge and that determines when you stop doing your increases. For some reason, I feel like this is big. We'll see. I'm trusting the numbers. You knit this down like way far and then you do some stuff. I haven't gotten that far because, who reads ahead in a pattern? Not me. But this is how the spin is knitting up. Isn't it fun? I'm digging it. Super pleasurable. And it's just stockinette for days and days. And it's really easy. It's like a really big sock. Like if you don't have a stockinette sock going on, this is so good. I am using size 5 needles, and I can't remember what gauge I got, but I don't want to give away the secret sauce or anything, because just go buy the pattern. And here's another incentive to buy the pattern, because starting September 1st, which is tomorrow, you're not going to be seeing this until September, sometime in September. September 1st until I don't know when, I forget, October sometime. We Share Needles podcast, which is Christen and Maddie, and Jen from the Crafted Pearl are doing a knit along, a cal for the Musselburgh. So if this is your jam and you love the sock head, but you don't like a bunch of ribbing, they swear by this pattern. They are the total enablers as to why I purchased this pattern. They'll be linked below. Next, whip. I didn't say whips, did I? I didn't say it. I just went right on into the Musselburgh. We're in the whip section. I am making, with this yarn, to go with this necklace, to take to the wool gathering. So all y'all who are going, that I get to meet IRL, are going to get to see this. I am making the Urban Nomad bag by Jess Coppom. It looks like this. She'll be linked below. This is a free pattern because I feel like September is still going to be too hot to wear knitwear. So I'm going to make me a bag. What? This is also crochet. And here is why it is still not finished. Obviously, it doesn't have a strap. You can crochet a strap, which maybe I'll do, but I don't want to. I want a leather strap. I went to Goodwill to find like a leather belt to wear for a strap, but I only went to one Goodwill and they didn't have anything. So I'm still looking. And if it gets down to it and I have to crochet a strap, I will. I have plenty of yarn. I also need to cut the fringes. The pattern calls for 10 inches. I don't think I want 10 inches. I'm thinking like here, I ruin things and get caught up on things, and I don't need 10 inches of fringe in my life. But I do want a little fringe in my life. So I'm thinking like yay long, however long that is. So I still have to trim it. Then I used muslin, it's gonna be blown out, and hand sewed, look at me hand sewing the lining in. You can't even see it. Now, you could get all like bougie and put like another little pocket in there and stuff. I didn't. I want it to basically hold my phone, my ID, and a pair of socks, and for knitting and walking. And that's what's gonna happen with this purse. And I have a necklace to match. I'm just saying. So that's one of my whips. Whips! Oh, and you know what, you guys? Ugh. I have an FO that when I typed these notes was a whip, and I forgot I finished it. These are my friend Loom's socks that I told him I was making him, but he probably has no idea he's actually getting for real, because, you know, like, oh yeah, I'll knit you something. He did me a huge favor, and I was like, I'll totally knit you a pair of socks. These are it. They are finished. This is JohnnyBohDyes. I don't think that it had a colorway name. This was just leftover I had. I think it might be Arctic Crafts, but I'm not positive. I want to say antique, the antique colorway. I could totally be making that up. These are Dan's sock blockers. Loom has a 12-inch foot, so they are bigger than even Dan's. I will block them. Obviously, they're not blocked, but I'll block them and get those in the mail to him now that you guys have seen them. I forgot that I just finished them last night, which is why I didn't change it over on my notes, because I kind of keep my notes running in between episodes, or I would forget so much stuff. Like I would have forgotten about the Kristy Glass interview because it's been a little bit ago now that it came out. I would have even forgotten to mention it. Also, I did not knit these. These were cranked by Miss Aquila from A Lefty Knitter. So Johnny Boh dyed them, his wife cranked them. I just put in the heels, toes, and cuffs, and I used my worksheet. I love my worksheet. I mean, obviously I'm biased on my worksheet, but I love it because it's exactly how my brain works. My next whip is in my bag from the Goyles, Echo and Loma. Where am I here? These are my Get Shorty socks. I'm a terrible podcaster because I don't remember where I was the last time you saw these. These are the Get Shorty socks by Irene Designs. It's a $3 pattern. Irene is also one of the 3 hosts of the Ply Podcast. They'll be linked below. This uses the strong heel, which last time I talked about this, that's kind of what it looks like. Somebody said or mentioned that the strong heel is a Flegel heel backwards. So a Flegel heel is toe up and a strong heel is top down. I've done no research on that, but it made sense in my brain. I've never done a Flegel heel, but there you go. I think the last time you all saw these, I was like, yay here. I mean, I think I got probably that much done. I'm pretty close to the toe, so I'm hoping the next time you guys see these, they will be finished. This is, I just have a random, that's the needle from Loom's socks that were also in the bag with my my Get Shorty socks. The yarn is Creative Obsession. Carrie used to dye Creative Obsession. She has a podcast. She used to dye yarn. This is the only yarn of hers that I have. Come Together. It's the Come Together colorway on her glitter sock base. There's glitters in there. You can see it, just a kiss of glitter. Those are going to be fun. I'm really enjoying working on those. Just a nice, there's like just enough fun because I'd never done a cuff like that and I had never done a heel like that. And now I'm in the stockinette. So that's kind of a work on it during a certain time. I took it to dinner the other day. My next whip is my Coil basket. The one that started it all when it comes to the Coil basket tutorial. I showed this on the last podcast. I don't know where I was. I think maybe I've gotten 2 coils done because I worked on a lot. I've been doing a lot of stuff, and this just really hasn't gotten as much love as it could have because of the other stuff. I mentioned on the last podcast that my friend Brenda gave me this yarn and I didn't know where it came from, but it was super old. Brenda called me after the episode went out to tell me that she believes the yarn came from Super Yarn Mart. Some of you LA peeps might know that. I Googled it to see if I could find any history on it, and I couldn't. The only thing I could find is that it was closed. But Brenda said that it is like Walmart for yarn, like back in the day. Just a huge store of tons of different kinds of yarn, and they sold now I forget what the name is. I can't find the ball band. I know it means butcher in German. I think somebody said, like the last name Butcher. It starts with an F. Ugh. Oh, wait, hold on. I have another ball of it right here. I should say Hank, because this is how it came. Isn't that interesting? But it's this. One of you commented that means butcher in English, and it's German. Fleischers. I'm not totally sure. Oh, and it was permanently moth-proofed. A lot of you commented as to the process of how they did that, which obviously is like a chemical that they did so that moths would not eat your yarn. But it's super interesting. So I wanted to tell you guys, I don't know how old this yarn is, but she thought that it probably came from Yarn Mart, Super Yarn Mart. And this was, I'm guessing, many years before Walmart. Okay, my next whip is my Lady Charming. Here again, this is like the episode where I have no idea where I was the last time you saw this. The Lady Charming is my cable sweater. The last time you saw this, actually, hey, I can put it on. The last time you saw this, I was working on this part of it. Can you tell I like this color? So now I'm on to the sleeve. Now, this will block out way longer, I'm thinking. It is a high-low. This yarn is Briar Rose For those of you who watched my cable correction video, this is where it is. And then that's great. Look at this. Shit show. How did that even come undone? Okay, so now I have to fix all these live stitches that popped off this holder. These are all cables down the arms. And I believe I said on the last one, see guys, this is not, my stitch holder came off there. No biggie. You just pick them back up and put it on. It's fine. Deep breaths. But my progress thing came off there. And now I don't know where I'm at on my cable. So I'm going to have to back that up. The cables go down the arms. Now these are on a size 10, or this is on a size 10, and it'll go really fast. Hopefully I get some work done on that before the next podcast. I feel like I have these sweaters on the needles. I had all these big projects. Like for a minute, all I had was big projects. And I was feeling a little like overwhelmed because all I had were big projects. So that's like where this came from, the purse, the hat. I needed to chill out on the big stuff for a minute. And it's summer, right? It's hot, or at least it's winding down for summer, but it's still hot. It's not sweater weather yet, but I feel like these are going to be done just at the right time for sweater weather. I didn't work on my tapestry vest. Dang it. But I wanted to mention KatyDidBags is still having her end of summer sale. The coupon code is good until September 10th. And it is end of summer 10. It'll be in the show notes below. So if you want to grab yourself a KatyDid bag, remember there's that coupon code. My final whip is my Forest Park cardigan, my grandpa sweater, and that is in my Leela Styles Labyrinth yarn condom. I love you, Jared. The last time you saw this, I had just started on the sleeve. I got most of the sleeve done. And if any of you ask about my dress, because a lot of you do that, this was like 2 seasons ago and I don't remember where I got it. I think the last time y'all saw it, it was, gosh, you can see the difference in the yarn. I did not alternate skeins on this. I mean, obviously, like how would you? And I'm not gonna over here either. So it'll be real interesting to see what it'll look like. I don't care. I don't need it to alternate. I got the mosaic color work done on the wrist. All I have left to do on this sleeve is I think like two. Look at the veins in my hands. Good grief. You'd think I was a muscle. I'm not. I'm flabby. But I think I have like 2 or 2.5 inches to do the ribbing on that. I know what you're trying to do. Side-eyeing me. Boy! Oh my gosh, I'm stringing yarn all over the place. That's my final whip, you guys. Again, I always feel like I just talk and talk and talk. This is the Forest Park cardigan, or what I call my grandpa sweater. The reason I'm calling it my grandpa sweater is because it has a shawled collar, and I'm gonna put elbow patches on it. It's like my Wilford Brimley sweater. See? Here's what I did. See, there's how close those dashes are to the trees, the forest. I did that on complete total accident. I just wasn't paying attention. I read it wrong. I kind of like this better. Mine's a little different than the pattern calls for, and that's why. Okay, we're on the home stretch, people, and I only have that much beer left. Oh, I was gonna mention for the Forest Park cardigan, I forgot, I'm sorry. The yarn is less traveled yarn. The burgundy is in the Merlot colorway, and the main part of the sweater is in Alchemy of Herbs. And that is less traveled yarn, and Kristy Glass also interviewed her, which was super interesting. It'll be linked below. And it was mainly interesting because, dude, I'm like knitting a sweater with her yarn, and here I get to watch an interview with her. It was a lot of fun. So that's her yarn. Simply Socks has it if you want some. The interview will also be linked below in case you want to learn more about her. Next up is enabling. And believe it or not, I only have one thing of enabling. That's right, people. Merchandise. You've asked. I've said I'll have some more at some point. I have more. Now, I don't know when I'm going to list it. I just want to really make sure that I have all of the stuff. I have all the merchandise. I have the stickers, I have the koozie, and I have the pins. I don't want to make the merchandise live for purchase until I can dedicate the time to send them out immediately. Because unlike these, and I feel terrible, because like I even told a friend that I'd send her some, and then like I was dragging my feet because I was waiting to send hers out with yours. And do you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I have the time to package up all the orders and get them to the post office so that you guys don't have to wait when you buy them. I'll post on Instagram when the merchandise is going to be live. The only difference that I want to point out, and it's mainly because I don't want to take new pictures, but I'm going to add pictures to my old list because I'm going to take this picture that I showed before. I am going to just make that listing live, but the koozies changed a little bit. So do you see how this box was not white on the last one? The words were white. And then the new artist, when I went in to replace the order, did this to it and I liked it. It's a little different, but everything else is still the same. That's really my only enabling. And you have to kind of wait for that to happen. I'm sorry. But I wanted you to know because you might want to plan for that. You might want to think about it for Christmas. I know that a lot of people asked for like Christmas gifts of it for their friends. So I'm just throwing it out there to kind of plant the seed, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, next up, Happy Mail. Didn't really come in the mail, but Ron, thank you, Ron, sent me a pattern, the papaya socks. He test knit it and said it's super fun. It's been a while since I've done a patterned sock, so I'll have to add that to my list. But it's a $4 pattern and it's by Holly Isaac. It'll be linked below. Then I had an anonymous gift and I don't know if they meant for it to be anonymous. It came from Get Knit Faced in CO, which I believe is Colorado because that's where it came from. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Get Knit Faced in CO, which is on Etsy. I'll link it below. And it just says, hey, Chevis, these popped up in my Facebook feed. They made me laugh and think of you. So I don't know if you meant for this to be anonymous. I thought about getting a hold of Get Knit Faced and asking, but I didn't know if you wanted me to know. I don't know. So if you sent this and you want me to know that you sent this, please let me know because I want to properly thank you. But these are going on my water bottle, my drink bottle, right? Hands off my ball sack, and I love a good fingering. I mean, whoever sent these, thank you very much. You obviously know me very well. I think I'm going to put it on my Chevyrell Stuff cup, which I will be taking to fiber festivals, and it may or may not have spirits in it. Just saying. So thank you very much. And that is Get Knit Faced in CO. And that's the card they sent, and that's their little emblem right there. They'll be linked. Then the last thing I have, Christen made this card. Oh, it's upside down. Christen made this card. Isn't it cute? And she told me that she was going to send this. I mean, she lives in Michigan. She makes hop hats for Paw Paw Brewing. Oh my. This is third day hair, second day hair, third day hair, something like that. She makes hop hats for Paw Paw Brewing. For those of you who don't know what a paw paw is, I don't either. It's a fruit, I think, and it's in Michigan. I think it grows on trees like a pawpaw tree. I've never had a pawpaw, but I have been to Paw Paw Brewing in Michigan, and she said she makes hop hats for it. And I'm like, what's a hop hat? And she's like, hops. If you drink beer, you guys know. If you know, you know. It's a hop. She makes hop hats for Paw Paw Brewing and sells them there. So if you're in Michigan and you're near Paw Paw Brewing, go get yourself a hop hat, because Christen probably made it. I need to find a winter beer festival that I can wear this hat to. I mean, I'll for sure wear it to all the breweries in the winter. I mean, why wouldn't you? For those of you who aren't beer drinkers, hops is what you use to make beer. Some people don't like IPAs, which this is an IPA. And the reason they don't like IPAs is because it's real hoppy. When they say that, it's this. It looks like this. And they smell good. They kind of look like weed. Like if you don't know, like I've seen people think that hops are weed. And I'm like, no. I mean, I can see how you would think that that looks like a bud, but it is not. It is a hop. And it looks like this. Which, I mean, obviously, Paw Paw in Michigan has hops, and Michigan is it's medical and recreational up in Michigan, so they probably all know the difference between a bud and a hop. I digress. Oh my gosh, it's hot. Okay, so then that's not all she sent me. You guys know I love these. So I don't know where it came from, but early on in my podcasting, I always show my koozies. And I have this koozie that is somebody's wedding koozie, and I have zero idea where it came from. I have zero clue where it came from. It's orange. Now I can't even remember their names. But I always joke that it's my favorite koozie because I have no idea who these people are. So Christen sends me this. I'm just going to start randomly collecting strangers' wedding koozies. I love it. I love it. So congratulations, Michael and Megan. Thank you, Christen, very much. I missed you guys. I did. I missed you guys. I'm really excited that I got to do this. Obviously, talking about fiber. See the sun that I'm fucking with. I meant that I'm fighting with, which is why I'm sitting over here. But talking about fiber and making and creating always puts me in a super good mood. And I just want to thank all you guys who find my little corner of the YouTubes worth watching. It makes my heart happy when I hear that I make your hearts happy. So some people think that that's an overused phrase, but you know what? I don't give a shit. It makes my heart happy. I hope that I get to meet some of you at the wool gathering. It's just going to be in a couple weeks. I'm really excited about it. It's linked below. It's in Yellow Springs, Ohio. It is September, we'll be there on Saturday. It's 16, 17, and 18 or whatever that weekend is. Also, Johnny Bo's going to be there with his granny square pants. I mean, I think that people should go just to see John in his granny square pants. It's going to be worth it. # worth it. Until then, have fun doing the thing. If you're still here and you're not, thumbs up, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. We'll catch you on the next one.